So I'm making this video for my aunt, but it really applies to anybody that wants to learn how to crochet. Um, the biggest tip that I can give to anybody that wants to learn is don't try to copy anybody. You can find so many videos on YouTube teaching you how to crochet. You can get beginner's books, you can get all kinds of resources, but don't try to copy anybody because you're never going to get the hang of it that way. Crocheting, everybody does it a little different. You're not going to find two videos. You can find tons of videos of beginner steps and things like that, but you're not going to find two people that do it the exact same. The basic stuff is similar, but everybody has their own little difference. The way I hold the yarn is a little different from somebody else, because if I hold it any other way, a lot of people will wrap the yarn around their fingers and stuff like that. But for me, my tension is too tight if I do that. I have a very loose grip on my yarn. The way you hold your hook, it all depends on what is comfortable for you. I usually do what they call a knife hold. Sometimes, depending on, what I'm doing, sometimes I'll do like a pencil hold. It just depends on what I'm working on, and how bad my wrist hurts. So it all depends on you, to how you hold your hook. So I would recommend try holding it multiple different ways. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. It doesn't matter if it looks weird. It doesn't matter how you hold it. It's whatever's most comfortable for you. Don't put yourself in pain trying to follow somebody else's tutorial and trying to do exactly what they're doing, because you don't have the same muscle memory as what they have, especially if it's somebody that's been crocheting for a long time. How to put it where it makes sense? The way they hold it may not be comfortable for you, so don't put yourself in pain trying to copy somebody else. I know on a lot of beginners, some people will give long lists of what you need to start crocheting, and there is only 3 things that you need. You need a hook. Size depends on the kind of yarn you're going to be using. You need something to cut your yarn with when you're done with it. If you don't have a pair of scissors, there are other ways to cut yarn. Scissors is just the best. I'm not going to list them because I don't want people to try them. But there is other things if you don't have access to a pair of scissors. And your yarn. That is the 3 basic things that you need. You can use yarn as a stitch marker. You can buy... I'm not going to untangle them. You can buy stitch markers. I have metal ones because I think they work better and they don't break as often. But I also have colorful plastic ones. Weaving in your ends. Yes, having a tapestry needle with a big eye on it makes weaving in your ends so much easier. If you're going to be doing dolls and stuff like that, you can just tuck your ends away and you don't have to worry about it anyways. But if you're going to be doing something like a blanket or a coaster, anything that's flat, you got to weave in your ends. That doesn't mean you have to have a tapestry needle. You can use your hook. Some people, they do recommend like overpriced stuff, and it is really irritating. I know I went through it when I first started, that, oh, this is the best one, and don't get anything else, only get this kind. Great, that's great for you, that works great for you, but that hurts my hand. I have a messed up wrist, so I like the ones that's got these, or like the rubber paddings on them. I don't like the ones that are just the straight shaft. For me, it's just harder because of the way you have to hold them. So getting your hooks varies on what you want. There's some of them that have really thick handles on it for people that can't close their hands all the way. You have straight ones that are kind of like holding a pen or a pencil. You have some like this. I have a bunch of these different sizes. This just happens to be the one I'm using. Just because in somebody's video they may have some fancy scissors, that doesn't mean you have to get fancy scissors. These are literally from the dollar store. They're like, I think $1.50 for these because I lost my other pair. But you don't have to have overpriced stuff. Now, the longer you do it, yeah, experiment, try different things, get different kind of hooks. I've got this cool little gadget that my mom got for me. It's a number popper thing, and it helps keep count on my rows and stuff when I'm doing that, especially when my kids are around. I've got a counter that goes on my finger, and I can keep count that way. You can write it down. You can do whatever is best for you. There's sometimes literally I'll use my stitch markers to help keep count, and I'll just line them up on my desk or stick them in my project like this. When I'm doing repeats, I'll put them at the beginning of each repeat to keep up with it. Sometimes I'll use my pop-it thing for it. So it just all depends on what you're doing, to what you need. There's some people that a size hook like this is a 3.5, is entirely too small. They would never use yarn like this. You can't use this for bulky weight yarn or anything. It is entirely too small. That means I have to go to work. I can do another video, but for the most part, this is like a summed up what you need to get started. 3 basic things. A hook of your choice. If you look at the yarn that you're going to be buying, it gives you the suggested hook size, and you can buy a hook for that. You don't have to buy some overpriced, big set or whatever. Just get a single hook and the size you need for the yarn you're buying. Stay with light color yarns would be best, white preferably, just to start as a practice, and a pair of scissors. And that's all you need to get started. I will go over some more stuff later. I gotta go to work. Have a great day, everybody.